What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to graph a line when you're given an x or y-intercept and a slope, okay? So let's start with this example right here. So it says graph a line passing through an x-intercept equal to -3, whose slope, m, is equal to -3/4. Okay, so whenever you see something like this, so if it says an x-intercept is equal to a number, it's talking about the x-axis, okay? And conversely, if it ever says the y-intercept is equal to a number, it's talking about the y-axis. Okay, but here it's talking about the x-intercept, so we want to know where along the x-axis is it equal to -3. Well, this is the x-axis, right? And it's equal to -3 right here. Okay, and I'll write it out just to make sure you can see it. -3, 0. Okay, so we plotted our x-intercept point. Now we have to figure out the slope, right? So the slope right here is equal to -3/4. Okay, so the most basic definition or equation of a slope is the rise over the run, okay? And in this example, it says that the slope right here is equal to -3/4, right? -3/4. Okay, and before we can figure out the rise and the run from this fraction right here, the first thing we have to do is move this negative sign, okay? And you have to move it either to the top or the bottom, but not to both, okay? Because if you move it to both, so if you had -3 over -4, well, a negative number divided by a negative number is a positive number, right? So this would be +3/4. So +3/4 is not the same thing as -3/4, right? So for that reason, we either have to put this negative sign on the top, so we would have -3 over +4, or on the bottom, so we would have +3 over -4. Okay, either one of these would be acceptable. Okay, and I'll show you that they both work, but let's start with this one right here on the left. So -3 over 4. Okay. So remember, the most basic definition of your slope is the rise over the run, right? So the rise right here tells you how many spaces you move up and down, and the run tells you how many spaces you move side to side. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go down 3 spaces because we have a negative sign right here. Okay, so we're going to go down 3 and then over 4. We're going to go over to the right. Okay, so all we have to do is start from the point that we plotted already. And then again, we're going to go down 3 and then over 4. Okay, so starting from the point that we plotted, going down 1, 2, 3, and then over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we just found another point that our line runs through. And in order to graph a line, all you need to do is draw a straight line between 2 points. Okay, so again, this was the original point that we found, and then based off of our slope, -3/4, we went down 3 and then over 4, right? Down 3 and then over 4. And then we found our other point right here, okay? But like I told you, we could have used either of these, so let me show you that this one would have worked also, okay? So here, the slope is +3 over -4, okay? So this means we're gonna go up 3 spaces, and then we're going to go back, or to the left, 4 spaces. Okay, so again, starting from the point that we found, so this time we're going to go up 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then back 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see that this point right here also runs through our line right here. So again, if I drew a straight line from this point where we started and this point that we just found, again, if I drew a straight line between those 2 points, it would still be the exact same line, right? So it doesn't matter which of these 2 slopes you use, just use one and stick with it, and you'll still get the right answer. Okay, now let's do one more example with the y-intercept. Okay, so this problem says graph a line passing through the y-intercept equal to 2, whose slope, m, is equal to 3. Okay. So again, the y-intercept always falls along the y-axis. So where along the y-axis is it equal to 2? Well, and +2, right? So that would be right here. So on the y-axis, this is +2. Okay, great, we found our point. Now let's figure out the slope right here. So here it says the slope is equal to 3. Okay, so again, the slope, the basic definition is equal to the rise over the run. Okay, now our slope right here, 3, we could also rewrite this as 3/1, right? These are exactly equal to each other. But in this case, we want to write it like this, as a fraction, because our slope is also written as a fraction, right? We have number on top and on the bottom. So right here, our slope, we can write it like this, 3/1. Okay, so whenever you see that your slope is equal to a whole number like this, just make sure you put it over 1. Okay, and just to be clear, this is a +3, right? This is a +3. So that's why we have a +3 up here and a +1 down here, okay? So now the rise, again, tells you how many spaces you move up and down, and the run tells you how many spaces you move side to side. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna move up 3 spaces and over to the right 1 space. Okay, so again, starting from our point that we graphed right here. So again, we're gonna go up 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and then over 1 space, 1. Okay, so we found another point that lies along our line. So now that we have our 2 points, now we can draw our straight line between them, right? So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below. Also, there's a couple playlists attached that I think you'll find helpful, so definitely check those out, and I'll see you there.